Hi everyone, it's Erin from the Provincial Farmhouse. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you some easy no-sow fall harvest pears. For this project, I'm using some drop cloth fabric that I picked up from the hardware store. I'm cutting out a rectangular shape and then I'm just freehand drawing an egg kind of shape. I've left some space down the bottom because I'm then going to fold my fabric over and I'm going to cut around the shape that I have traced. I'm going to leave the fabric down the bottom attached. This is just going to help with the pears being able to stand up. So I'm going to very carefully cut around the outside. Now I did just draw this freehand, but there are some patterns online that I'm sure you could get if you're not a confident drawer. So once I've done that, I'm going to grab some 220 grit sandpaper and I'm going to go around the edges and I'm going to distress them. You can find a full product list in the description below and most of these products on our website, theprovincialfarmhouse.com.au. For our first pear, I'm going to be mixing up a custom color mix. I'm going to be pouring out 1 part pumpkin spice chalk mineral paint by Dixie Belle to 2 parts French linen chalk mineral paint. And this is going to be something that you'll have a bit of a play with and it will be to your liking as to what color you make. I am then going to use my mister to mist the drop cloth fabric and then I'm going to work that paint into the fibers of my drop cloth. So basically we are dyeing the fabric and I'm going to be painting both of the pear shapes there. I'm not going to worry about doing the inside because you will not see that. In today's video, you're going to see me make a few different versions of these pears, but this is a basic pattern that you can use. So you can see I'm just working that color into the fabric and then I grabbed a little bit more of the pumpkin spice color to go in and add a little bit of tonal variation. Again, you could go with a green tone for this. I just wanted a more primitive look. I'm then going to draw out 2 leaf shapes that join in the middle and I'm going to trim around the outside of those. This is going to be the leaves that we attach to our pear. I'm then going to use Dixie Belle's Juniper limited edition fall color for this. I'm misting the fabric and then I am painting it. I'm going to be painting both sides of my leaves. Again, you can use any type of green that suits you. I went for more earthy colors. Now I need to attach my sides together. So you can see I've turned it over and then I'm just using my hot glue gun to go around the outside of my pear shape. Now I'm only going to work with 1/2 at a time so that my glue doesn't dry too fast. And then I'm going to press the sides together carefully. Remember, this is hot glue, so be very careful when you're doing this. So this is just a decor piece, so the hot glue is going to be enough. If you wanted, you could definitely take a needle and thread or use your sewing machine, but again, this is a no-sew, really easy decor project that you can do with your hot glue gun. And I want the seams on the outside because we're going for that rustic primitive look. If you wanted a tidier look, you could perhaps do the hot glue and then turn it inside out. So I'm just gluing my sides together, making sure that they meet nicely, and then I'm going to take some hobby fill to fill in my pears and I'm going to use a pencil to work that fill down into the bottom and I'm going to continue until the pears are completely filled. Next, we need to add a stem. Now, I just went out to my garden and I found some offcuts from some pruning. So I'm just adding some hot glue around my little stem there. And I'm going to very carefully bring the top pieces of our pear drop cloth there. And I'm just going to start gluing them together. And you can see that I'm just adding a little bit more glue on the side there. I wasn't exactly sure how much room I'd need, so I did leave a bit of a wide opening up the top there. So just adding that hot glue and carefully pressing them together. I'm then going to grab some twine and I'm going to start wrapping that around the top as well. And again, to your liking, I went with just your more traditional twine. You could come in with a colored twine if you wanted. So I'm going to wrap it around a few times and then tie a knot. Now it's time to attach our leaves, so I'm going to wrap those around the top of our little stem there and tie a simple knot. As I was tying my knot, I was trying to get a somewhat even look for both of my leaves. It doesn't matter if one leaf is a little bit bigger than the other, and I was careful to make sure that the knot in the center was tight. I didn't want this to look too bulky. So once I have that attached, I took some 220 grit sandpaper and lightly distressed my painted fabric. Again, this is going to add to that rustic vintage look. And here's our first finished pair. For our second pair, I repeated the same steps as before, but I wanted to add a pattern. So I have taken some of IOD's Reverie stamps, and I'm just going to add some white chalk paint to that with my brayer, and I'm going to press down very firmly on my fabric. You do need to press a little bit firmer when you're doing this on fabric to work it into the fibers, and I'm just going to randomly add those over one side of my pair. I'm using the chalk paint for this step. You could definitely use IOD's white ink for this. I just didn't have one open at the time and I wanted to use some products that I already had on hand. So you can see I'm just repeating the same process each time until I have my pair looking the way that I want. And again, you could use any type of stamp for this really. I then need to attach my sides, so repeating the same steps as before, starting on one side, adding that strip of glue and carefully pressing down, and then moving on to the other side. Always remembering to leave a gap up the top so that you can come in with some hobby fill and fill up that pair. Now I'm going to add my stem, and I'm going to add a little bit of glue on the inside of my fabric, and then I'm going to very carefully press the stem inside. Again, just be really careful with this. And once I've done that, I'm going to grab that twine and wrap it around the top and tie a knot. And finally, just like before, I'm going to add our leaves that we created and tie a knot. I'm doing a little bit of distressing with some 220 grit sandpaper on the pattern and the edges, and then this one is done. I love how these turned out. They look so primitive and rustic, perfect bowl fillers. Let me know if you prefer the ones without the pattern or if you like the pattern pair. Finally today, I decided to show you guys what a more neutral looking pear would look like. You can see I've already cut out that pear shape, and now I'm coming in with IOD's La Campagne stamp. I've inked up the beautiful roses design, and I'm going to press down firmly and then pull it away. I'm going to repeat the same process on the other side. I just wanted to give you another example of how you could do this, and if you wanted, again, a more neutral look for this, you'll see that I also created a plain version at the end. So again, you can see I'm just using that hot glue to attach the sides together, and then I will add some hobby fill. As I was making this pair and the more neutral looking one, I did notice that the stems, some of them had that more green look up the top where they had been trimmed. You will see shortly that I did come up with a solution for this. For the leaves of my pears, you do see me make my own out of the drop cloth, but if you wanted, you could take some faux greenery and you could add that instead. To solve the issue of the green part of the stem up the top, I just took some of Dixie Belle's Best Dang Wax in brown and added a little bit to the top of the stems that looked a little bit too green. And here's a look at our neutral style pears. I really hope that you've enjoyed today's quick and easy no-sew pears and that it's inspired you to make some for your home. Let me know in the comments which style was your favorite. If you enjoyed today's video, I would really appreciate it if you would hit that like button, comment, and share it out to a friend that you think might enjoy it. If you haven't already, I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of our videos. You can find the products used today on our website, theprovincialfarmhouse.com.au. Thanks for watching.